In this video I'm going to show you how easy it is for you to create your own unique power scheme.
Okay.
By right clicking on all schemes, select create scheme. You'll get this new dialog box that will open up and you can now name your power scheme. So try and pick something that's relevant to your users. So when they go into their control panel and look at their power options, it'll be something that they know that you have assigned to them. So I'm just going to select your company name. You also have the option of putting in a description, which is obviously very handy for you if you've got multiple power schemes and you want to quickly see which is the relevant power scheme for the right group of people. So I'm just going to put your company name in there as well. Now you can see here there's already some settings, so if I right click somewhere on the background I can do something like set EPA recommended. So if I do that, it will populate with some settings. Now the EPA is Energy Star, and New Boundary Technologies and Pwrsmart is a recognized Energy Star certified solution. So if you go onto the Energy Star website, you'll actually find our company details on there. So I personally like to have my own settings, so I'm going to set everything to user defined. And what I tend to do is look at having my monitor configured for 15 minutes, my hard disk I also set for 15 minutes. I don't bother with system standby, and I'm going to set hibernation to 30 minutes.
Okay, you say you don't bother with system standby. Why would that be?
Well, it's a little bit like setting your TV onto a standby mode. Yes, it reduces the amount of energy it consumes, but in the larger picture, it doesn't really save you anything. And obviously, when you're using a solution like this to manage your enterprise, you're trying to get the best power management savings as possible, because you want to reduce your carbon emissions and you also want to reduce the amount of kilowatts that you're using in order to save some money.
All right.
So that's why we don't use system standby. Well, I personally don't use system standby. But obviously there might be some environments that you feel that that's necessary. So with running on batteries, I tend to set that at about half of what I've got configured for when it's plugged into the mains. So set that to 15 minutes. So if I deploy this now, it's like a group policy object. It will go off and set those settings. But I want to be a little bit more dynamic than that. So what I'm going to do is enable alternate settings. And this basically gives me the option of doing my out of office hours, because this is really where you're going to see most of your energy savings. So what time do people usually leave your office in?
Building's usually empty by about 6 p.m.
Okay, so if I say from 6 o'clock in the evening, what time do they usually start work?
About 8:30, 9 o'clock, thereabouts.
Okay, so let's say for the next 13 hours, and I'm going to change that to 7 o'clock in the evening, because let's give them an hour's grace.
Good idea.
And what I'm going to do is, again, set everything to user defined, but I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive with my power management settings. So I'm just going to set everything to 5 minutes, and I'll do the same with running on batteries as well. So a very quick and simple way of configuring these power management profiles. So now I've done that, if I deployed that to my machines, when they change into the different time zones, they would automatically update and receive the secondary or primary power management settings. So it's very straightforward. Now we have these other things that we can do called scheduled events. Now we have 5 different event types that we can use. So I've got something like hibernate, for example.
All right. It's interesting you say that. I've tried that before with group policy, and just some machines on my network won't shut themselves down. I've never really got to the bottom of that one, though.
Yeah, it's a thing that Microsoft term as PC insomnia. Now what we do with PC insomnia is we're actually bypassing that, let's call it an illness. We're bypassing that and forcing the machine into a hibernation event. Now, the reasons for PC insomnia are things like if you're running applications, as an example SAP, which you connect to a network share, even though the application might not be utilized, so there's no keyboard and mouse activity, the Windows Power Management API considers that machine still to be active. A user could have left a web page open that auto-updates with RSS feeds, streaming video, news tickers. So there's a whole range of reasons why machines don't go into hibernation. So what we're saying is that, let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so every day of the week at 7:15, I want you to put all the machines that haven't been covered by this power management profile to actually put them into a hibernation event. So you're going to capture all the machines in your enterprise, not just some of them, because obviously not capturing all of the machines means that you're still going to be wasting energy and increasing your carbon emissions, which obviously, if you're looking at a piece of software like this, you don't want that to happen. If you're being a really nice system administrator, one of the things that you can do is wake the machines up in the morning for your users. So you can say, on a weekday, and you said they come in about 8:30, so let's say from 8 o'clock, I want you to wake the machines up. So once you've done that, you can also look at some of the other events that we have. Do you do Microsoft security patching?
Yeah, it's every Tuesday evening.
Yeah. Okay, so what you can say is we have a stay awake command, and what this will allow us to do at 6 o'clock in the evening for the next 4 hours, any machine that's in hibernation or in a power saving event will be woken up using Wake on LAN. Any machines that are thinking about going into hibernation or a power saving event will be suspended, and for the next 4 hours that will keep your machines alive, so that will give you enough time to patch your machines.
Good, useful.
We also have the ability to put the machine into a powered off state, so you could say on a weekend, at 9 o'clock in the morning, any machines that are on, it will turn them off. And obviously with events like hibernation and shutdown, there's a dialog box that pops open because you're forcing an event on the machine. So what will happen is a user can press cancel, and then the machine will just revert back to what's in the power options. So they can actually cancel it. If they don't respond to the dialog box, after 60 seconds, the machine will go into that power saving mode.
Oh, good.
Okay, and the final bit is software exclusions. Now, what this does is allow us to use a process name, and this will suspend any power management that's going to happen on that machine. So I'll give you an example. If I'm using PowerPoint and I'm giving you a presentation, and on the last slide I'm talking for longer than 30 minutes, I don't want my machine going into hibernation. So anything that's in the scheduled events or power options will be ignored whilst PowerPoint is running on my machine. When I terminate PowerPoint, so I close the application down, then the schedule events and power options will be restored, and the machine will then continue in its power saving event.
Oh, that's very useful.
So if I click OK now, I've now got a power scheme that I can deploy to my environment. Now if you noticed, because it's the newest power scheme, it's given us the lowest priority number. If I want to change that, I just select Properties and then just change it to a priority that I feel is best. So I've put that to number 2, and as you can now see, anything that was before gets dropped down 1 number. Right, that's how to create a power scheme in. Is there any questions about that?
No, it's very straightforward.